hosting a festive dinner, or a cozy get-together with friends. Make every moment a...
Jonathan Strickland from In Class AI.
Now it earns you 5% cash back on a monthly category of your choosing. Restaurants, apparel.
Thanks so much for joining us again. We are always excited to come and talk.
Always, always, always. How are you doing today, Susan?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. Okay, we are going to get into more of your fan questions. But first, I mean, who can resist? We've got to talk about the Golden Bachelorette Men Tell All. I don't even know where to begin, but let me just say, it was incredible. First of all, how cool is it? I felt the whole love again. I felt the hope last night, the camaraderie. But did you love how they brought everyone up, many of them on stage, and they
brought their families? Their kids were there. That was so awesome. As a matter of fact, I texted Mark. I said, I'm feeling the love. When he wrote that note.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. That was so sweet.
So I thought, you know, when you see them crying in the camaraderie, we know women get together and we cry and we hold each other's hands, but seeing the men do that,
it's amazing.
And their friendships are real too. And I just loved. How about Jack and his hamburgers for all?
I love it. I
thought, great. Jack's making hamburgers. Susan's going to be in there making meatballs.
I agree with him. You do not put barbecue sauce on a hamburger and you don't overcook it. I agree with him 100%.
And never hit the spatula and squeeze the juice out. Okay. I loved that they looked back at the season. It just gave context to the whole season. But
Kathy, you are right by saying they brought up so many different people.
Right?
They didn't do that for us.
Well, you know, when we get our second turn at it, Susan, they're going to get it right.
Because Faith talked really long that night.
And I was still explaining why I said zip it. So, you know, it just goes on and on. But wait, I want to ask you, Michael, when he said that he had a diagnosis of cancer, did we just learn that last night?
No, he just had the name of his disease, whatever it was.
No. Michael is a cancer survivor. He talked about it last night.
Yes, Kathy.
No, that's a different guy.
Who's Michael?
Different guy. Did you watch the show last night?
Dan, you love it when she gets fresh with me. You know what's going to happen when I see her.
I love you.
Knock her
I
out.
love you. She's going to shave my hair off. Dan is the one with the tremor.
Dan, I'm
Michael
so sorry. Who
is
Michael?
The one. I don't know how to help you here if you haven't been watching the season.
Could you just answer the question right
now? He's a
Michael?
good-looking guy on the show who last night talked about he was diagnosed with cancer right before he came on the show. And he was talking about how great the show was. It was just what he needed and the support he got from the guys in his family.
That's the guy from Florida. His name is not Michael, honey.
Okay.
It was Dan that was talking about
Susan. Can you just work with me
here? His name is Michael.
Michael is the guy with cancer. We're using up all our time arguing. Just say, Kathy, you're right, so we can move on.
Okay, Kathy, you're always right. Kathy.
I'm not always right. But I love that Dan, speaking of Dan, who's the guy with the tremor, talking, you know, they were having a bromance, the emotional, you know, how much they loved each other.
I mean, how perfect it was for his year, that it could have been really, really bad. That's who I'm thinking of when we're talking about this.
I give up.
I'm stuck here.
You're stuck. Get unstuck. But the other thing I wanted to say, Katie Bigger. And there magically is a picture of Michael for you.
And there's Michael, and I thought his name was Dan.
No, there's a Dan. We're going to see if we can bring up a picture of Dan just to help you.
I remember.
But my question 20 minutes ago when we started this whole thing was,
20 minutes.
Did Michael talk about having cancer? I didn't know that until last night. I don't believe we heard it till last night. And I don't think he did, but I'm sure you'll take issue with that. But I don't think he did on the season.
No, I think you're right, Kathy, because what I was thinking was Dan and how he said how a good year and
yeah. So Katie Bigger, she and her fiance Zach live in Austin, and Katie came over to watch the show with me last night. Susan, I swear, she sat there. She's watched, many of the episodes, but she started crying, and I said, "Oh,"
I did too.
She goes, "Kathy, this is so sad." We're both sitting there tearing up how, how we felt the love and how the sadness, but they're finding love again. And she goes, Kathy, how are you dealing with this? I said, I don't know. I'm hoping we get all the tears out. And then if I get to meet her guys, one of them works out. She was just dying laughing, but
I teared
loved
up.
it.
I did. It was so beautiful. And how, oh my God. Charles L. Wait, the world loves Charles. How about the
Susan,
woman
wait, we need to stop everything here right now.
What?
I would like you to take a second, go inhale something that will calm you down and get your head back in the game.
I swear to
Please.
God, I'm fucked up today. Charles, the girl stood up and said, we want you to be the next Golden Bachelor. How about me thinking Jonathan?
Can we talk about his hair dye?
Oh
Can
my
we talk
God.
about, I thought, I need to ask you about this, Susan. I thought it was a little dark, but he's such a sweet guy. And what about Pascal? Wait, Pascal with the face mask and the meditation?
He was hysterical. And the two frying pan. Ding, Joan.
I mean, this show should win an award last night. It had something for everyone. There was laughter, there were tears, there was hope.
How about when Joan was trying to say her whatever she was saying, and the animals, the birds in the background, she couldn't get it out. The bloopers
are
that's
always
the most
good.
fun when you watch the bloopers.
We have got to talk the biggest thing. So you know, we've talked about this. My husband was an officer in the Navy, not a captain as Kim was, or commander.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a captain.
It was amazing.
The song, having the
gay
LA
choir.
gay
Yep.
men's choir. Because I'm sitting with Katie and I'm like, oh my God, wait, they're bringing a lot of single guys out. Maybe I can pick one of them. And at the end,
they're all gay.
burst out laughing when he said the LA men's gay choir. I was like, yep, shot down
and
again.
they were really talented. They sang that song. They did some justice to that song. They really
I know,
did. He
but
was
how
glowing,
cute was that?
wasn't he? He was.
It was,
smiling.
but the show just, I don't know. I left that show last night. This was so good. And the letter, you touched on it from Mark.
That was just beautiful. That was something I related to that like no other.
Yes.
And then he left him the sticky note to put on the mirror because he
do
really
you think
needed
of
that.
men typically doing that? I don't.
There
I
are
loved
good
it.
people, good men out there just like women, but they don't always show it. It takes a show where you're locked up in a place where no contact with the outside world for those things to come out. They don't show those things on an everyday. You know what I mean?
I will tell you, no, they don't. And one of the other things, I love the show. I left last night feeling great. I loved that they re-showed, you know how they were showing bits and bobs of the season with each guy.
Mm-hmm.
And when they showed Guy talking to Charles L about his life, I started to tear up again. In fact,
he said she bit her tongue.
I know. I messaged him last night and I said, I'm so glad they played that. It reminded me that was such a kind gesture for you to do. I mean,
I know. It was good. It was really good.
And wait, what do you think? Jonathan's met someone?
I know.
Who else? Who else?
There's a few people seeing.
I heard Mark is dating someone.
Yes. There's pictures of her on the internet. Well, I don't believe everything I read, but yeah, I just hope they all find somebody and they're happy. You know.
What about you and me?
Yeah. Well, not yet. Just saying.
I can't wait to get dressed up for the holidays in Abercrombie's new party looks. I've been loving and wearing Abercrombie for years now. They have everything you could ever need, from the best basics that will last you forever to elevated nighttime looks, which I feel like is perfect and absolutely needed going into the holiday season. There's nothing more motivating to make plans when it's cold out than a hot outfit. I'm someone that goes crazy for sparkles and sequins and getting compliments on my outfit. From dinner reservations to girls' night out, Abercrombie is setting the outfit vibe this season. Going into the holiday season, Joe and I have a bunch of different kinds of events coming up, and Abercrombie is going to be my one-stop shop for finding all of my holiday looks, whether I need something cozy to go ice skating in, or we have some sort of nighttime festive holiday party. I know that I'm going to be able to find everything that I'm looking for on Abercrombie. Make a night of it and shop Abercrombie's newest party looks online and in-store now.
This is Jonathan Strickland from Tech Stuff Podcast. Unlock your potential with the unrivaled power, battery life, and AI capabilities of next-gen PCs powered by Snapdragon X Elite processors. Found in today's Copilot Plus PCs, Snapdragon X Elite brings your masterpieces to life in seconds with instant AI-powered image editing tools. Or it enables you to easily redesign entire PowerPoint slides with powerful productivity tools. With lightning-fast performance, days-long battery life, and best-in-class AI, there's no limit to what you can accomplish with Snapdragon X Elite. Learn more at snapdragon.com/laptops. Snapdragon-branded products are products of Qualcomm Technologies Incorporated and or its subsidiaries. Battery life varies significantly with settings, usage, and other factors.
Step into the world of Crumble, where delicious desserts are packaged in the iconic pink box. In 2017, two cousins embarked on a flavorful journey to create the best chocolate chip cookie. But that was just the beginning. Today, Crumble's weekly rotating menu features an array of desserts like Tres Leches cake and Snickerdoodle, so there's always something delicious that everyone will love. Whether you're picking up a mini cookie for a quick treat or a party pack of desserts to share with friends, every treat is crafted with love and creativity. With the mouth-watering aroma of freshly baked desserts in the air, Crumble's open kitchen concept invites you to witness our talented bakers whip up delectable treats right before your eyes, adding an extra layer of excitement to your visit. And with the convenient options for delivery and pickup available, enjoying Crumble has never been easier. Perfect for family gatherings or simply treating yourself, Crumble's amazing desserts turn every moment into a delightful celebration. Visit your nearest Crumble today. Explore the delicious options on the Crumble app and experience dessert like never before.
And what about Pascal saying, I mean, look at, we're just jumping from guy to guy because it was such a great episode. What did you think about Pascal saying he wanted to be friends with Joan? I thought Joan, by the way, let's talk about Joan for a minute. I thought she handled herself really well because with Pascal, we left her crying that he had self-eliminated. She clearly was upset by that. You know, now we're down to
I think she
Chalk.
was shocked by it.
Yeah. Shocked or chalked by it.
No.
That's just a little joke.
No, she was definitely surprised when he said
But I just thought she
But I love that he
handled
was
it
being
so.
honest. I mean, he was being real, true
I
to
know,
himself.
but didn't you
Yeah.
love the way she said last night, it's okay?
Yeah.
He said, I want to be friends.
Well,
It's
as
just
it
like, those are
should
the
be.
kinds of happy endings that
Well, you know
want.
why, Kathy? Because she is happy.
It's a lot of aplomb. It's graceful. It is. I think she's handled
She looked
herself with
beautiful.
dignity and
Yeah.
was so genuinely happy to see the guys. Did you hear her say that?
Yes.
Like she missed
She
them.
missed them. Yeah.
I think she's handled herself incredibly
She did
well.
a great job. She really
Do you
did.
want to
And
borrow
we're
the
gonna
dress she had
see
on
them
last
all.
night?
We are going to see them all.
That's right. We are. Not too long from now, like
I
less than a
know.
week.
I
I want to know, do you want to borrow the dress that Joan had on? I couldn't do
I
that
couldn't
dress.
wear that. I could never fall off.
No, with that, I
Yeah,
don't
she
think it's
looked
the problem with
stunning.
that.
She did. She looks.
I don't know that the
And she was really
dress was
sweet.
getting a lot of talk on
Yeah,
social.
So I say.
Yeah, not
Well, people
are
have
not-
opinions. You know.
Listen, let me just say, Carrie, who is the stylist, who I adore, I have a thing for him. I think he has styled her beautifully
Yes,
throughout
he
the
has.
season,
I
and
was
she's got the
texting
body
him
you can
last-
dress.
I texted him last night as well. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, thank you."
Yeah, he keeps telling me if I get married, he's going to dress me.
Yeah, that's
So,
not a bad
there's-
thing, Kathy.
that's
That
something
is
to look
not
forward
a
to.
bad Thing.
You
We'll
always
take
gotta look
care
for
of
the
any day, any day.
So
but all
what
in
do you
all,
think-
I give the show a 10 last night.
I give it an
really do.
11 out of 10. Wait, one more thing.
Of
Did you
course
see
you
our
do.
girl Nancy?
Yeah, she looks
She's-
so cute. She's so
she's-
pretty, isn't she? And
you
she's
know.
so genuine. I just love those cheeks and that face and that smile. And then her advice was beautiful.
Nancy is truly, like, we've talked about this. You and I sometimes are misread because we're silly and we make jokes, but we both have a loving, side to us that we just have to feel very comfortable, let that out. Nancy's exactly the opposite. She just can't be anything other than sweet and genuine and right?
I agree with you. I agree, but I don't have a problem letting that out. I don't have to be comfortable to let that out.
Well, you and I just make a lot of jokes, I'm saying.
Yes,
We're known as
yeah.
the funny, crazy
Yeah.
girls,
Yeah, but I have a serious side. And
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
everybody knows that, though, from our show.
You think?
Yeah.
All
We're
right.
not the same, Kath. No matter what you say, we're not the same.
No,
We're both
I know.
loud,
You know
yes.
why? I know the difference between Michael and Dan. We could start with that.
Well, there you go. I give you that.
If there's
Jeez,
the
I
finale,
didn't-
Susan, I'm going to
there
introduce
was
you.
no Michael in my brain. None whatsoever.
I'm going to introduce you, Michael. This is Susan.
He left
Susan,
early.
this is Dan. Look at them very carefully. They
What
look
week
nothing
did he
alike.
leave, Kathy?
What do I look like? I'm a walking
Oh, well,
compendium
you know
here.
everything else, obviously. Jeez.
We'll take
No,
a
I really
selfie.
did forget. I take it back. I apologize. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're listening. I am wrong. She loves when I say this. Okay.
She's rarely wrong, I will say that. Rarely.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Well, I can
I
hardly
can't wait till next
week's
week,
it.
though.
It's it.
I can't
though.
believe it's over.
And we're
right?
going to be
One
there
more.
in person.
Yes, we are.
Live in
Yes, we
person.
are. I'll probably
gonna-
cry then too.
That's all right. I'll bring the
Because
Kleenex.
whoever doesn't get picked, oh my gosh, my empathy goes over.
Well, whoever doesn't get picked has had a few months to deal with it, right?
Well, yeah, they're better
So-
now, sure. I keep toying the idea of going back on a dating site. Oh, God.
Oh, I don't think,
could
Susan,
do
we
it.
talked about this.
don't
I
know
just
if could
don't
do it.
think. Katie was saying to me last night, she goes, Kathy, you're so fun. You just need a really special guy. And I said, are you offering Zach? Are you going to share him? I mean, it's hard to find.
I know. And they weren't our guys. I like them all. I really do.
I can't wait to meet them.
to meet them.
I
Yeah.
can't, because you know what? You can't judge, as you and I both know, you can't judge by what you see on TV. That's just a little snippet of who they are.
Exactly. But all in all, great show. Looking forward to the finale.
Yeah, I can't believe the season's coming to an end, but
After
here it
the
is.
final rose. Maybe there'll be a few roses laying around. Someone will give us one. I don't know.
Susan, I'll grab one for you. Right after I introduce you to Michael and Dan.
It's all Dan to me.
All right. It's all Michael and Dan. All right. Listen, we got to get into today's episode. Let's do this.
All right. It's time for our question of the day, Kathy.
Oh, boy.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Can an ultimatum ever work or be justified in any kind of relationship, whether it be friendships, romance? Can an ultimatum ever work or be justified? Could you be okay with someone giving you an ultimatum?
I was going to say no, but I actually gave a friend an ultimatum because she did something to me twice, and it caused, trust me, a lot of issues in my family. And I said to her, if you can't commit to never doing that again, then I can't be your friend because it causes too much havoc with my family. It had to do with me since my husband passed away and where I was and what I was doing and set my kids into a complete tizzy. And she said, Kathy, I can't promise you. And I said, then we can't be friends anymore. But I felt justified because of what it had done to my family. What about you? Relationships, never. No.
Yeah, well, that's my first thought. If I was given an ultimatum, then, excuse me, don't let the door hit you in the ass.
On a
basically.
relationship.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm
Like
with
it
you.
depends on what is said. Honestly, I mean, I'd need a specific to really.
All right, let
Yeah.
me give you a specific. Susan, if you don't commit to cutting my hair once every 8
That's
weeks,
not.
our friendship is over.
It would be like an ultimatum, like you can't hang out with that girlfriend of yours. I don't want you to ever see her again. Whoa.
Yeah,
No.
no.
No, who are you to judge? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all righty. Here we
That one was
go.
pretty-
We
All
got
right, are you ready to get-
questions.
we're going to get into our fan questions. So
Yep.
that's our favorite time. Here we go.
I know. Okay.
First one is from Maggie, who's 51 from Orange, California. Hi, Golden Hour girls. I love your podcast and wanted to reach out for some advice because I'm struggling. I lost my husband around 10 years ago, and since then, I found a lot of my joy, socializing, etc., through my work. Ever since the beginning of the pandemic, my company has transitioned to completely remote working from home. They have no intention of returning to the office, and while I've looked for other jobs, none of them have the pay benefits of my current job. I have been struggling with my mental health ever since working from home full time and working at coffee shops and libraries isn't the same socially. I try to do activities after work, but I just really loved the office culture, and it has been such a help to me over the past decade. I'd love to hear if you have any thoughts on this or ways I can socialize more, because being at home alone all day isn't working for me. Thank you for your advice.
You know what? That does suck. It really does. I can't imagine. I've put myself there a few times thinking if I had that kind of job and I never left the house. I know we're going to say you got to join meetups and do activities, but when you're home all day, a lot of times you don't even get dressed the way you used to get out and work. That is a really tough thing to go through. And I feel for you. I do.
I do too.
And she even looked for other jobs.
Yeah.
God bless her.
So, Maggie, I would say Susan's exactly right. It's hard after you've been home, in your pajamas or whatever, and then you're tired. You've been home all day. You're lonely. The hardest thing is to then get up, put makeup on, go out and do something at night. But I would encourage you a few nights a week to do just that, or on the weekend. Get out and join some activities where you'll be with like-minded people, who will enjoy it. The other thing I would say to you is don't give up looking for a new job, because, it's like men. It just takes one. So, keep looking for jobs, and you don't know that something good may not come about. And who knows, maybe this is an opportunity knocking on your door to relocate. Let your life, imagine what your life could be, and maybe something good will, as Susan always says, envision it and make it happen.
Or what about the people that you did hang out with at the office? Have you given them a call, or are they kind of in the same rut, if you will, as you are? Maybe they're, we'll get together, go to the movies or out to dinner once a month or something.
Yeah. It's hard. It is, and
Maggie.
You know what? The bigger the rut you get into of not getting together with friends,
the worse.
The harder it is to break that cycle. So try to break it. Try to look for a new job. Try to get involved in activities. I know it's hard, but
or even do it like a singles road trip. They have travel. Just go and do you. But we wish you a lot of luck.
The problem with those, Susan, usually those people come from all over the country.
I know, and you're not really friends.
Yeah, you're just friends in that 10-day
She needs something local.
Yeah.
But thank
Maggie,
you for writing in, Maggie.
Luck. Let us know, Maggie. We're rooting for you. You can do it. You can do it. Just some positivity there. You can do it.
Our next one is from Sally, who is 35, from Salt Lake City, Utah. Hi, Kathy and Susan. I'm going to get right to it. I am the last of my friend group to get married. I live in Utah, and everyone gets married and has kids super young here. But I waited to find my person, and I'm so glad I did. We are getting married next year, and I couldn't be more excited. I am just feeling really disappointed in my friends. Over the years, I have been the only single gal at all of their bachelorette parties, bridal showers, baby showers, etc. And now it's finally my turn. When I brought up dates for my bachelorette party or bridal shower to my bridesmaids, they have excuses why they can't be there due to their kids or husbands or whatever. I understand they all have different priorities now, but I just feel really sad that literally none of them are able to make a date work for my bachelorette weekend. And we've all done that for each other. I feel like I'm being robbed of the experiences they had just because I am older and am getting married later. What would you do in this situation? Should I just not have a bachelorette party or a bridal shower? I always imagine my girls surrounding me leading up to my special day, and I'm just sad. Thank you for any advice. Oh my God, my heart's bleeding.
That
it's horrible.
Horrible. I can't even.
You know what? I get
imagine.
it. Those people's lives, they have kids, things go on, but you got to make an exception. She was there for all of them.
Okay.
That's not fair.
Sally, that's her name. Sally. Here's what I would do. I couldn't agree with Susan more. Let's say there's 6 of them. If you can get even half of them. And you know what I would do? Honestly, I would sit and write a handwritten note to each one of them and explain.
Throw the guilt.
Well, no, I would say, I understand, you have families and husbands. but we've always been together, and we were.
I've been there for you guys.
I was always there for you, and I feel like you guys don't really care about me, and if that's the case, okay, she's got to be willing though to maybe let go.
Well,
of
that's
those
throwing the
friendships.
guilt trip. You're right. You're right. That's it. What else could she do?
Well, I
yes,
think
you
it might
deserve
be
a bridal shower. You
Yes.
absolutely,
And a wedding-
positively.
a bridal
you
shower
put
and
out
a
money
bachelorette.
all
Susan?
those years for all those
Should we go
couples.
to our bachelorette party?
Call us. We'll come.
We'll
and
come.
then they'll all want to come watch.
That's
Mhm.
right. We'll come to your bachelorette party.
And you know what? We'll do a bachelorette party with you. Where you want to go?
Let us know. We'll do it with you, and we will have fun. Trust me. Susan and I create fun wherever we go.
But don't think for 1 second that you don't deserve it. You do. And if not all of them can come, at least some can. And I'm sure you have other friends and family will be there as well. But you know what? You're right for feeling yucky about this. I would
Yeah.
too. And
This is one
shame
of the
on
few
those women.
questions. This is one of the few questions we've had where it's very black and white.
Yeah.
For me and for you, I think. That
Yes.
she was there for them. And listen, guys, if you're listening, Sally's friends,
Mm-hmm. Do this.
I have grandchildren. See if you can find someone to take care, even if it's just overnight, to make
I don't
Sally
even care
feel
if it's the
special.
shower and you have to bring your child. Okay.
There you go. Get a babysitter. Work it out,
It's
ladies.
a couple hours. Make an appearance. You don't
That's
even have
right.
to stay.
Sally's
Make it
been a
happen.
good friend to you. It's time to pay back. It's payback time, and that's what you do for friends.
That's right. Oh, Kathy, the next one's from a man.
Oh, wait. And you know where he's from? Rochester, New York. Notice how I say that. People from, how do you say it? You would probably say Rochester. But if
No,
you are
Rochester.
from Rochester,
You might think there was a D in it. I'd
that's
say
right.
Rochester.
You say Rochester. And my dad was from Rochester and my husband was from Rochester. So I know how to say it. Okay. Ed is 44 and from Rochester, New York. Hello, Susan and Kathy. Sorry for such a sad question, but I'm curious if either of you have any advice for caretaking for a sick elderly parent. While I'm in my 40s, most of my friends' parents are still pretty healthy, so I don't really know who to turn to. My dad passed away years ago, and my mom is really struggling with dementia. I visit her and spend time with her daily at her nursing home, but the whole experience of being a caretaker for someone you love and watching them struggle is so lonely and isolating. I see firsthand every day how much she is suffering, and my heart is just broken. Being a caretaker to her has also put a pause on my dating life, social life, and has even taken a toll on my work. This disease is so horrible and can go on for years and years. If either of you have any words of encouragement or advice, I would really appreciate it.
I'm sorry, Ed, and it is very sad. I remember my grandmother going through it, and right now a neighbor up the street is. But I couldn't help but notice she's in a facility,
Yeah.
right? So you
Yeah.
don't have to be the full-time caretaker. You got to excuse yourself. Not that you shouldn't visit. You definitely should, but you still have to keep a life, Ed.
Yeah, Ed, just because if she's in a facility and you have a job, you have to be responsible to all aspects of your life. You can pay honor and respect to your mom by visiting her, but you need to take care of yourself, which means showing up for work and giving it your best. It means taking time for your friends and dating life. Sitting with your mom all day, all weekend is not going to bring her back. It's not going to, you can't relive those years. And it sounds to me a little bit, not that I'm a therapist, but that you're mourning.
It's sad. I don't know if she's at the point where she doesn't recognize. Sometimes they don't know who you are, and sometimes people might feel the more they go, the better it is for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know the situation, but you can't forget about you.
Yeah. You
And I
have to
love
give
that you
yourself
love
the
your
grace.
mom.
Yeah.
You love your mom that much. It shows. But you
I
can't
mean,
do
it's-
it all.
You can't do it all. And you know what? I think if your mom were of sane mind and wasn't struggling with dementia, she'd
would
probably
agree.
say, Ed, don't be silly. Go out, meet friends for dinner, have a date, live your life. That doesn't mean not to come see your mom at all. It just means get a little more balance in your life, Ed.
Yeah.
And we wish you all the best. We hope that your mom just can
And
settle
we
in.
agree, this disease is horrible. It's really sad, and it could go on for a long time. But don't forget about you, because if you're not healthy and you don't do you good, you're not going to be any good to her.
That's
But we
right.
do wish you love and love.
Yeah.
All right, the next one's from Lulu, and she's 30 from Denver, Colorado. Hi, Susan and Kathy. So fun to be writing into you. I just had my first baby and wanted to know your thoughts on an issue I'm having with my in-laws. They are unbelievably kind and generous and help us a ton with the baby. But they are both smokers and have been for decades. I wouldn't tell them how to live their life or to stop. But whenever they hold our baby, she is handed back to me smelling like smoke. I have been very clear that they can't smoke around her, and they respect that. But I can't stand that every time they hold on my newborn baby, she reeks of smoke. I don't want to tell them they can't hold her or come over, because they really are so helpful and have been really amazing at helping us get set up for our first child. Do you think there is anything I can do about the smoke smell? We've tried wrapping her in a blanket, but it seems to permeate everything. Ugh. Let me know if you have any advice on this, and thank you so much, and I adore you too. Oh, Lulu, congratulations, first of all.
First of all, congratulations. But here's the thing.
Oh.
Your in-laws, you can't make them quit smoking. If they're smokers, they're smokers. You, by your own admission, say they've been a great help to you with the baby. Here's the deal. When they leave, put the
Bathe her.
baby in the bathtub. And
Or say something like, Mom, could you wash your hands first, because I can smell it on her?
it's on their clothes. I'm sure it's all over their clothes. Smokers' clothes smell. It's in their hair. It's in their fingertips. It's everywhere. And I don't
that's a
blame you.
tough
Here's the good
one.
news, Lulu. While it smells bad, it's not going
Harming
to
her.
permeate your daughter's or son. I can't remember if
Yeah,
it's
the
boy or girl, but
baby.
anyway, your baby's lungs. So at least you got that going for you.
That sucks.
Just do the best you can, and when they leave, bathe the baby, because they're not going to quit
Wash
smoking.
their clothes,
Wash
because
the
they
clothes.
are good grandparents.
They're good. They love your. They've just unfortunately have a.
I think it grosses
horrible-
her out more than it does the baby doesn't know. And the
Yeah.
baby's not being affected, like you said. That's a
Although,
tough
don't
one,
you
babe.
love the smell of a baby's head right after it's shampooed?
I know.
So, I
know.
get it, Lulu, but here's the
Yeah.
thing. Smoking is a terrible addiction.
Yeah,
And
it is. I did it for
and-
100 years.
Yeah, and they would
But
quit,
I
I'm sure. if
never
they could.
smoked around the child or anything like that. So at least she's doing that. Or both both
That's what I'm
grandparents,
saying.
right?
The smoke at least is not going in the baby's lungs.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get dressed up for the holidays in Abercrombie's new party looks. I've been loving and wearing Abercrombie for years now. They have everything you could ever need, from the best basics that will last you forever to elevated nighttime looks, which I feel like is perfect and absolutely needed going into the holiday season. There's nothing more motivating to make plans when it's cold out than a hot outfit. I'm someone that goes crazy for sparkles and sequins and getting compliments on my outfit. From dinner reservations to girls' night out, Abercrombie is setting the outfit vibe this season. Going into the holiday season, Joe and I have a bunch of different kinds of events coming up, and Abercrombie is going to be my one-stop shop for finding all of my holiday looks, whether I need something cozy to go ice skating in, or we have some sort of nighttime festive holiday party. I know that I'm going to be able to find everything that I'm looking for on Abercrombie. Make a night of it and shop Abercrombie's newest party looks online and in-store now.
This is Jonathan Strickland from Tech Stuff Podcast. Unlock your potential with the unrivaled power, battery life, and AI capabilities of next-gen PCs powered by Snapdragon X Elite processors. Found in today's Copilot Plus PCs, Snapdragon X Elite brings your masterpieces to life in seconds with instant AI-powered image editing tools. Or it enables you to easily redesign entire PowerPoint slides with powerful productivity tools. With lightning-fast performance, days-long battery life, and best-in-class AI, there's no limit to what you can accomplish with Snapdragon X Elite. Learn more at snapdragon.com/laptops. Snapdragon branded products are products of Qualcomm Technologies Incorporated and or its subsidiaries. Battery life varies significantly with settings, usage, and other factors.
Step into the world of Crumble, where delicious desserts are packaged in the iconic pink box. In 2017, two cousins embarked on a flavorful journey to create the best chocolate chip cookie. But that was just the beginning. Today, Crumble's weekly rotating menu features an array of desserts like Tres Leches cake and Snickerdoodle, so there's always something delicious that everyone will love. Whether you're picking up a mini cookie for a quick treat or a party pack of desserts to share with friends, every treat is crafted with love and creativity. With the mouth-watering aroma of freshly baked desserts in the air, Crumble's open kitchen concept invites you to witness our talented bakers whip up delectable treats right before your eyes, adding an extra layer of excitement to your visit. And with the convenient options for delivery and pickup available, enjoying Crumble has never been easier. Perfect for family gatherings or simply treating yourself, Crumble's amazing desserts turn every moment into a delightful celebration. Visit your nearest Crumble today. Explore the delicious options on the Crumble app and experience dessert like never before.
Wow, these are some hard questions
I
today,
know today
Susan.
it's making me sad,
It's making me
but it's game
sad.
time. So
All right, it is game time, and we're not. Oh, again,
Yay.
we're not going to do moral quandary today, Susan.
I'm having such a
Those
good
of
day.
you, please write in. Kathy loves moral quandary. Let's bring it back. But today, instead, we're going to let our listeners get to know us better.
I think the listeners will be happy about this. Just
so
saying.
we're going to switch off reading each of the questions, and we'll both give our answers. All right, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. When you were a kid, what was your dream job?
Wow. Okay, I know mine.
What?
I wanted to be a model and a flight attendant when I was young. And I
Really?
did both, actually.
You know what I wanted to be when I was a kid?
What?
A broadcast journalist. I wanted to have, that.
When
be
you
on
were a
the-
little kid, you knew
yeah,
that?
I just
Okay.
always just really wanted to have that microphone in my hand and doing it. I did.
And you were made for it, Kathy. You really were.
Right.
Okay, what era/time of your life do you remember fondly, but you're glad you're past? An answer could be like college. It was really fun, but you're so glad that you're not stressed out 19-year-old anymore. Or grade school, middle school, high school. What era of your life do you remember fondly, but you're
okay, you
glad
ready?
you're past? I know what mine is.
Well, I can tell you what mine is, and then you can. I love being a mom, and I
can't believe you're saying this. Mine was parenting. Oh my gosh, we are alike.
we are. I
I'm
love
glad it's over.
raising kids, but I don't like giving my grandchildren back. But it's not my it's a heavy
Yeah, I know.
responsibility to raise
I know.
children,
I know.
and now I just get to give them cookies at. Not really. I don't do that.
but I agree with that.
Parenting is tough. Although, come on, Susan, you and I both are still parents to our children.
Oh,
you
always,
never stop
always.
being a
But in the back to school night and filling out the papers and all that,
How about
gosh, and
signing
making
the
sure the
homework?
homework was done and
Do you remember signing the homework?
packing the lunches. Yes.
Have you practiced your piano yet today? Have you done your math homework? Did you do the corrections on your spelling test? Ay, ay, ay.
Oh gosh.
Gosh.
Okay. Next
Oh,
one.
What is something about you that has changed the most since your 20s?
My attitude. My body, my
Tell
attitude.
me more. I was going to say my body. But tell me about your attitude.
Oh, totally different attitude.
Which
Although
is?
some of it is still quite the same, though.
Well,
I always thought I'm invincible. I believe in the dream, and that part of the attitude is still the same.
yeah.
I was more carefree, and now I'm more careful.
Oh, the hell you are.
Believe it or
Susan
not, Kath, I
Knowles.
was way worse than this.
Oh, dear God. You're lucky you're alive and breathing if this is you, more controlled. Oh, smokes.
How about
I-
you?
There's two things. My
Okay.
body, because I was a
Well,
lot
that-
bigger
yeah.
girl back in the day. But I also think I'm a lot more confident now than I was, even though I was married in my 20s. I got married, folks, when 10 days after I turned 20, I walked down
Wow.
the aisle.
That's
So
young.
it was very young. I didn't feel
That
young
is
at the time.
young.
I chose well, but I was
Mhm.
very young. But I just think I'm more
But
confident
so much
now.
changes from your 20s. You mature. I mean, your brain expands. You know, you learn
How
so
old
many
were you
things.
when you got married?
I was mid 27, 26, 27. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
if we're being honest, who
I
remembers
don't remember
their 20s?
everything. I know. But the confidence part came later in life. Yeah. I always had some, but second guessed everything, you know?
Yeah. We don't second guess. We don't have time, Susan.
No,
we don't have time to
no.
second guess. Take it, go with it, and run.
Okay. Mm.
All right.
What's a hobby you've always wanted to try but never got into? A hobby.
hobby?
A hobby. Do you have hobbies?
Yeah, I needle point. I
All right,
bake.
there's a hobby.
You don't have a hobby?
I don't know. Like a hobby is playing golf. That's a sport that I like to do.
That's a hobby, playing golf.
But I did get into it. So what
Okay,
when
you're
I think
gonna
of a
laugh.
hobby, I think of people going to like ceramic classes.
That could be a hobby.
But I never wanted to
I
do
took a
it.
ceramic class once. Oh my God, I couldn't believe when you put it in the kiln, it didn't come out anything looking like I'd
Yeah,
painted
right.
it.
I would want to
Nothing.
make like the stuff I saw in Venice, you know?
Yeah.
The blown glass.
Not happening. I don't think it's called a hobby, but something I always wanted to do and was really hope the producers are listening from The Golden Bachelor. Do you know what I really wanted to do?
What? Host a
Wanted to
show?
go skydiving.
I would love that too.
I really wanted
That's
to
not a
try.
hobby either.
Well, it is if you do it regularly.
Well, I guess it could be.
I
Mhm.
mean, why not, right?
Mhm.
I think I'd be scared to death, but it's one of those things I'd love to do, conquer my fear and
Ditto.
do it in tandem. I would love to do it. All right. Oh boy. Who was your favorite band or artist when you were in high school?
Did I have a favorite? Led Zeppelin. I was a rocker
The
in high
Beatles.
school.
Did you like the Beatles?
Yeah, I liked all kinds.
I liked Simon and Garfunkel. I didn't like the hard rock stuff as much.
Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, yes.
You know who else?
The
you know
Allman
who I loved?
Brothers.
The Moody Blues.
Blues, I love the blues.
No, the Moody. Oh no! Oh dear Lord, Susan, the group,
Yes.
the Moody Blues.
Blues.
Do you remember them?
Yes.
Great
Of course
music.
I did. I was a big music person, though.
I was. Too. I
What were
listened to it
you
all the
like
time.
as a kid, Kathy?
Well, let's start there.
What do you
I-
remember that you were
Oh,
like
I
as a
totally
kid?
remember. I was a kid who was the last of 5 until my parents were divorced, and then I gained a 9-year younger brother. You know, he was born 9 years after I was around, and then I gained a stepsister. So I was kind of the kid vying for attention because I wasn't the oldest, I wasn't the prettiest. You know, I was just trying to get someone to notice me.
I was the
What about you?
oldest, the first of 5.
Oh, you're the princess.
And I was the first girl, and my grandmother had all brothers and then 3 sons. So I was the first grandchild, and I was a girl. Need I say more? I was very active.
I
Always
was
put on
very-
a show for my
Wait,
family.
Were you athletic? Were you athletic?
I was a gymnast, yes, and a dancer, but I liked attention. I would make people laugh even young. I put on little shows in my house.
Really? I forgot about that. I was an athlete. I was always I played varsity tennis my sophomore year in high school, which nobody made varsity. I was always in grade school and middle school. I was a cheerleader, and I was picked.
Yeah, I was a
Always one of the
cheerleader,
first
too.
girls to be picked, for the kickball team or the
Right,
softball.
right.
I loved athletics.
But in
Loved-
school, I got good grades, and I would fail conduct
I,
because I was
Bachelor
only.
Nation.
They
Are
used to
are
say to
any
my
of you
mother,
surprised?
"Susan likes to talk."
I was the class clown. I won most humorous, at the Halloween
Oh.
party, funniest. Do you think I got good conduct grades?
Uh-uh.
You don't?
No, because you like to talk. You like to tell people how to do it.
Not in school, honey.
No.
I had E for excellent. Oh,
Wow.
no,
Excuse
no,
me,
no.
Miss Perfect.
My real mother would
Uh-huh.
have taken a board and whacked me if I'd come home with that. Oh no, I think that's why at home I was so chatty Cathy. 'Cause at
Ornery.
school, ornery. Yeah, well, all right.
All right, go ahead.
Who was someone that really inspired you when you were young?
Inspired me.
I mean, you know what this sounds like?
What?
It sounds like the question you get on a college.
I know. Who
essay.
inspired
Like,
me?
Everyone always says the grandmother or the grandfather or the father or their mother. You know,
It's my dad, but it wasn't inspired. I just listened. I think one of my mom's friends.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I used to love how
Why?
she dressed. My Aunt Chicky, my mother's sister, like
Do you know I have
she
a
had
cousin,
like
Chicky?
12-inch waist her whole life, you know. You know cousin Donna, well, her mom, Chicky.
Okay.
And she
do you hear
inspired
me? I have
me.
a cousin, Chicky.
Oh, yeah, you've told me that before, I think.
Wild.
But I think she inspired me because she was a single parent, number one. She worked and she always dressed so cool, like when she would come over. And I was very inspired by her.
Interesting. I think aside from my grandparents and my dad, I would have to say it was a college counselor that I met when I was 8 years old. I still talk to them. She made me believe in myself. She made me believe I could do
Nice.
anything. She taught me
Nice.
how to swim. She taught me about poetry. She taught me about books and reading. She just,
That's awesome.
yeah, she's a very cool woman. Mary, if you're listening.
If you could go back to any age for 1 week, what age would it be and why?
Who cares? It's only a week. I mean,
I think it would be my late 30s, right? Hitting 40. Yeah.
you know what my week would be? I want to know why, but it just really hit me hard. I would go back to the week of my wedding, and I would love to relive it and see
That's
it all
beautiful, Kathy.
from the perspective I have now.
Mine was
Why
quite
would you
the
go back to your
opposite.
30s?
Because I would have done something that I didn't do for 20 plus more years, not 20. Yeah. I would have
Well, I'm going to ask you what the
made a
hell is that?
decision. I would have made a decision, a big decision in my life, because at that age, I knew I wasn't happy in my marriage, but I stayed for my children, and I think things could have been different. So if I got to do it over again, that's the week I would change, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's big. You know, that takes a lot
Yeah.
to admit that. Okay. What's a memory from your teens that still makes you laugh to this day?
I was such an idiot.
What did you do?
It makes me laugh. Oh, gosh, I made everybody laugh. But a memory from my teens, thinking I could get away with shit, Kathy. Like I was forbidden near Billy Patterson, and he had a big Harley, and he was 4 years older than me. So at that, I was a teenager. My mother was like, you are forbidden. And I would go out with him and sneak. Of course, he'd pick me up somewhere else, and he would drop me off like across the street behind the houses, like that alleyway that we walked through.
Yeah.
And I'd run through the little alley into my front door like nobody knows. And he would come down my street and rev up the Harley. And my father and mother would just look at me like, you dumb, stupid girl. And they go, you were with him. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
So, Bachelor Nation, Susan has a tendency to lie. We hope she's outgrown it. I don't know. My teens
makes
were
me
not
laugh.
my bestest time. I struggled a bit. I really can't. I mean, I love to laugh, and I did laugh a lot, but picking out one thing. Only
I could
thing
name 100.
Well, I can name one. I think I've told you the story before. My parents took us to the Bahamas, and there were, you imagine there were 5 of us, whatever. And my dad said, hey, let's sneak you into the casino. And remember, Miss Little Do-Right Me was like, Dad, I was 16. I had a 17-year-old sister, an 18-year-old stepsister, and a 19-year-old sister. So the 4 of us were going into the casino. Do you know?
You're not allowed.
We weren't allowed. The age was 18, to be fair. It was not 20. Oh, no. No, I think it was 18. Anyway, guess who was the only one who didn't get thrown out?
You.
Uh-huh. And I was
Why?
the youngest. I don't know. I had on a
They didn't see you. That's why.
Oh, no. I was plenty large. No, I think it was just that I, acted like so stiff. I wasn't, I laughed after the fact, but I was very serious. Like, I have to pretend I'm old here.
Another good memory, and I was a teenager. I went to an all-girls Catholic high school, and we were cheerleaders for the all-boys Catholic high school. We were going out for the homecoming queen, and I was only a junior. And I remember having to stand on the stage, and that they would question us, give us questions, and they said to me, how does the Catholic high school influence you? And I stood there dumb, and I went, it keeps me away from the boys. Well, the nuns, the priests, everybody went crazy. I didn't know what to think.
And not only that,
I was
Father,
homecoming
forgive her.
queen that year, first junior ever.
Really?
I think that question was a good
Father,
one.
forgive her, for she knows not what she says. There's no way in hell, Susan.
That was
you were kept
hysterical.
away
You
from
can't
the
make
boys.
this shit up, Kat. I can't. I just can't. All right, moving
All right.
along.
The next one is, what's a fashion or beauty trend you followed in the past that you regret looking back? I've got that one so easily.
Okay, what is it?
My hair, I've got this fluffy hair.
Yes.
And it's really hard to control. Right? I mean, it's straight because it's
Kat,
flat
I
iron.
know
Now,
about your hair, Kat.
I know you do. But when I was in the 80s, I thought it would be a really cute look to have perm. in
Oh,
my
everybody
hair.
had perm.
Oh, no. But my perm with my fluffy hair, I look like Shirley Temple rolled out of bed on a bad hair
I
day.
used to give Dickie perms. That was an error. Yeah.
It was such a bad look. And I look back on pictures now, and my daughter, in the family album, my daughter says, Mom, what the hell were you thinking? I said, Caitlin, in 20 years, you're going to look back at your pictures and I'm going to say to you, what the hell were you thinking? It's called time.
Oh, God.
But, it was a bad
That's
look.
funny.
It was a bad look.
All right, culturally, what was your favorite decade that you lived through and why?
Well,
Hippies. I like being a hippie. Loved being a hippie.
did you wear the bell
I didn't
bottoms?
live through Woodstock. I mean, I was too young to go, but that was like my favorite.
Would your parents
Look,
have let you go to Woodstock?
No,
Hell no.
of course not.
They would have
They
let
probably
you go
wanted
to
to
the
go.
Catholic girls
They
version.
probably
which
wanted to
means-
go, but they were
which
pinned
means
down with
going to the
kids.
bottom of the church singing "Row, row, row your boat" with a bunch of girls roasting marshmallows.
What was your favorite decade?
Well, culturally got me. The word culturally. I would have to say the decade probably in my 20s, believe it or not, because when I was first married, I lived in Scotland for 2 years and I loved trying the food and meeting the people and just all the, driving on the wrong side of the street, all the things I learned about living in a foreign country. And
That's
then
cool.
later in my 20s, we moved back to Boston so my husband could go to graduate school. And I was close to
You were
all
awfully young to do all that travel. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was fun. And we got to travel to the continent when we lived in Scotland, but then we moved back to Boston. I loved all the museums and the, just the city life of Boston. It was kind of cool. I got to do a lot of things. Even though
That's
I grew up
nice.
in Boston, I didn't go into the city that much. I grew up in the
Right.
suburbs.
Yes.
So that was, I don't know, that's what I think.
Cool. All right. What's something that exists today that you wish you had as a teenager? For example, Netflix, cell phones. What's something I wish we had computers because that encyclopedia would drive me crazy when I had to look up stuff.
Oh, you
How
know
about
what?
you?
I didn't know how I was going to answer that, but because I'm sort of with you, all the technology that we have.
Yes.
But I think my favorite, I can't live without my phone, so that's a given. But
Right.
you know what else? I love to read, as you know, and I used to walk around with books, like heavy books, because if I had 10 minutes spare, I would sit and read. So my Kindle, my reading, that I can read.
That would have been good
I
to
love it.
have.
It just pop it in my purse and I read. But all of technology would be tough. And of course, I grew up with I'm not kidding. We got color TV. I don't know how old I was.
remember when the color TV came. We had black and white for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just think about how far we've come.
What's one thing about you, Kathy, that's never changed and reminds you of your younger self?
Easy. My sense of humor. My sense of humor.
My gift of gab, my silliness. Yeah. I always have that.
My talk, my propensity to talk all the time, but also just laughing and making other people laugh.
Well, I hope everybody did get to know a little bit more about us. Do you think we shared enough with them? They know I'm a class clown. You're funny. I mean,
if you want more information about us,
don't do a perm.
Do not do a perm. Write in, and if there's other things you want to know about us, go to bachelornation.com/golden
ask
hour.
us.
Write your questions, right?
And we'll answer them
We'll
honestly.
tell you.
Even if it's embarrassing, we'll definitely answer them.
All right. Well, now that you know everything about us, that is going to do it for this episode of Happy Hour. Thanks so much for joining us.
And listen to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. That's us on the iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. And I hope you enjoy this as much as we do.
Have a great week, everybody.